preliminary study, but what does it show?
Yeah, so this data, it's actually an abstract presented at the annual meeting for the American College of Cardiology, looking at the question, because we know that marijuana cannabis use is widespread, what are the long-term risks to the heart? We really don't know that. So this is one of the largest studies to date. And what they found was people who used cannabis daily, every single day, we're at a 34% higher risk of developing coronary artery disease, so clogging of the arteries, compared to people who never used or used less frequently.
But big difference between daily use and occasional use?
100%. So they saw what we call almost a linear increase. The more people used, the more their risk went up. But what's important about this is we know this is a substance that's being used. So if you think of it along the lines of alcohol, we want to know, is there a sweet spot for risk versus benefit? And this study, obviously only looking at risk, but one of the first to really hone in on what that risk is with greater use.
What general guidelines do you have about using marijuana?
Well, first of all, I think we have to remember, federally, it is the most commonly used illegal recreational drug, even though it is legal in about half the states. And of course, medicinal use is also becoming more and more common. About 18% of Americans used it in 2019, but there's a spectrum of severity, and 3 in 10 can actually have a pathological use, so using marijuana to the extent that it's qualified as a use disorder. We still are looking for the data to help guide us to what are the benefits, what are the risks, and for how much, because like anything else, it's not just yes or no, it's how often, how much, to what dose.
Jen Ashton, thanks.
Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Monday to all of you. So glad you could join us for What You Need to Know. I'm Rhiannon Alley.
And I'm Gio Benitez. Great to be with you all. Dr. Jen Ashton also here.
Yes.
Both looking a little tan because they were on vacation a little bit.
Yeah, I have a little glow. I was in Florida with my family. I took the kids.
And we were in Cabo for the weekend. It wasn't exactly a vacation, Gio. It was just a weekend.
Still a nice time.
That's right.
A nice warm. Listen, when you're here in New York, shivering like I was.
Correct. I know, and we got back, and I asked the kids if they wanted to go for muffins the next day, and they said, no, it's too cold. It's too cold. I said, 5 days in Florida, and now it's too cold in New York.
They got used to it. They got used to it. Our former stomping grounds. Yeah. All right, and we're tracking this big number here as...
It's getting a lot of attention, but this is something that we may never get to the bottom of. So this is the headline in the latest, just came out late in the day yesterday. Again, right now this is just one report. ABC News has not validated the Wall Street Journal report. And again, we might never get to the bottom of it. There's a difference between an accidental lab leak and a deliberate lab leak, where animals crossing
came from.
I think it does matter, because when you talk about prevention, you'd like to know how this started. But in the medical community, there are so many features to this virus that really raised a lot of eyebrows that I think some medical detectives will not give up. They still want to figure out exactly how it started.
But like you say, we may never know. All right,
correct.
Jen, thank you so much.
12. And guys, Everything Everywhere All at Once also had a big night on Saturday. Yeah, at the Producers Guild Awards. So 'tis the season. It's award season right now.
Both, of course, seen as precursors to Oscars, so we'll have to wait and see, Faith.
All right, Faith, thank you.
I also wish you could have seen Dr. Jen's reaction to the snow headed to the east.
Yeah, no, that was...
She's very excited.
She's still thinking about the sun.
Yeah. There's a lot more ahead here on GMA 3.
Let it go. Let it rain. All right. Dr. Jen Ashton, of course, joins us now again with a medical-related question that you're asking. So let's take a look. Here it is. What hormones should I ask to have tested at my next well visit?
The key to this question, you guys, is the word well visit. So the answer is none, okay? That's not part of routine testing for a general physical or checkup. It's certainly not part of a well visit. So people can get into a lot of trouble in terms of testing things that are unnecessary. And also, I have a saying in medicine, you shouldn't do a test unless you know what you'll do with the results of that test. And if you are not having any symptoms, you are well, there are no hormones that need to be checked. We have to remember, hormone levels vary time of the day to day, depending on the age of a person. So your chance of getting some kind of reading that then requires you to come back, spend money, get more blood testing, all for naught, extremely, extremely high. So if you are feeling well, you do not need to have hormone
If you're
levels
having
checked.
some issues, then you need to make a separate
That's a
appointment for
totally
that.
different story.
Okay.
And you can submit your health and wellness questions right here at ABC GMA3.
And just ahead right here on GMA3, the argument one state is now making.
Just hearing you talk about certain concepts, thoughts you're having, emotions you're having, music, animals, all of those things together. When you redid a lot of these tracks, did you have to go through a different type of emotional awakening?
Out in May.
A lot coming from Moby. Thank you so much.
Thank
That
you.
is what you need to know for today. We are so glad you were with us today. Come on back tomorrow. I'm Rhiannon Alley.
And I'm Gio Benitez. For all of us here at GMA3 and ABC News, have a happy Monday.